Alright everyone, welcome into it. Everyone out there in YouTube land, it's vinyl update time. And even though there's about 3 things that should be here that aren't, like the new Lindsey Buckingham and Iron Maiden that came out a month ago, and one other release actually, there's actually a good pile here, and yeah, those aren't going to be here for a while it seems. So first I'm going to just show some CDs that I got at a shop that's just closed in town, unfortunately, so everything in the store was 50% off. So there were a few holes I needed to fill, like in the Outkast collection, and this has one of those cool at the time novelty covers. I never really thought they were cool. I'd rather just have a regular cover. Anyway, this is Outkast's last album they ever put out, a soundtrack to their film Idlewild, which I've never seen. I've always kind of wanted to. I know Andre 3000 figures himself to be kind of an actor. Sorry for the bad lighting in here. There's a big storm outside. Anyway, yeah, I'm sure the film's okay, but it's definitely my least favorite album by the group. But you know, it's nice to fill in the gaps for the collection. Next up is, I just did a ranking video on these guys, and it's about time I had a physical copy of this one. It's the eponymous 2010 release. The last one they did with Scott Weiland, unfortunately. And, you know, it doesn't rank as high as any of their other full lengths, but I like the first 2 songs a lot. And some of the lighter material after that I quite like. Yeah, it doesn't have Samba Nova on it. I guess that was a bonus track. That was my other favorite, but I guess it's only on the deluxe edition. Shawn Ryder, his new album, which everyone's sleeping on because I guess most people think Shawn Ryder's done. I actually really like this one. It was quite a pleasant surprise, you know. It's not going to change anyone's opinion about the Happy Mondays or anything. But, you know, if you're a real fan, check it out. Definitely stream Mumbo Jumbo to see what the album's all about. It's a lot of fun. You know, it's just Shawn Ryder being Shawn Ryder. What else can you really say? And one of these singles goes back about 5 years or so. So this thing was a long time coming. And as soon as the pre-order went up earlier this year, I'm like, yeah, gots to have it. And not really knowing what to expect, but really happy with it. Of course, it's signed, so that's cool. Beach Boys. I've been on a really Beach Boys kick. They're one of those groups like, you know, 311 and all my favorites where every year I kind of start to listen to all their stuff again. And yeah, this one is not, people are not favorable towards this. I'm not really a country fan, but they tried the country thing, and I'd say half of it works. They got a lot of crazy features on here, like Junior Brown's on here, and Willie Nelson, that's pretty cool. Toby Keith, be true to your school. I mean, he's ruining a song that I didn't like that much in the first place. Yeah, so anyway, nice to have it for the collection, but no one really likes this one, and for a long, long time, this was the last thing the Beach Boys ever did, and then finally, That's Why God Made the Radio came out years and years later, and kind of saved them from mediocrity, because of course before this was the now infamous, or notorious, oh, what's it called now, Summer in Paradise? Summer of Love. No, Summer in Paradise, whatever it's called, the one that has all the awful Baywatch music videos and all that kind of stuff. And then I didn't realize till after I did my Sloan video. I knew there was that one Sloan like at a party, but this is an actual live Sloan record, so I saw this when the store was closing up shop. So yeah, I should say the Shawn Ryder one I ordered. Some of these other ones, as I drop everything, are from the shop that closed down. So we'll put those off to the side, and then to repeat and recycle, here we go, Shawn Ryder again. So, lovingly signed. Of course, it's gotta be, and this comes with a lithograph, which, you know, no one's really going to care about, but I'll show off anyway. I have a couple lithographs from artists, but I've only displayed one, my 311 one. Does it go that way up? It's double-sided, too. Anyway, that's cool. I mean, I don't really know what I'm looking at, but it's kind of cool anyway. We'll put that off to the side. And then a bunch that I was listening to earlier today, Bob Welch and Friends. This came out on CD in, I think, 2012. It's kind of bootleg quality, Renaissance Records, so they definitely put together a cool package, and there's, you know, kind of a story of the show, and lots of great photographs, actually. They seem to really focus on Stevie Nicks, though, which, you know, I guess you obviously would for sales and because she was such a hot force and everything at the time, but, you know, she doesn't feature on that many songs, and she's all over the place. So it's like, what about Bob? To quote a great movie, too. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly recommend this to anyone, though. It's very bootleg quality, but I kind of had a fun time listening to it earlier today, but I'm not going to put it on that much. Mick and John make appearances, Christine McVie makes an appearance, and then, of course, Stevie, like I said. You got the big hit Hypnotized, Sentimental Lady, and then he sneaks in, you know, other Fleetwood Mac ones. He does Remember Me with Christine, and he sneaks in a lot of solo stuff, a couple tracks from Paris, his kind of hard rock side project from the mid-70s. So, for collectors only, because of the sound quality. One thing that's cool is all the lyrics are in there. So many live albums, you know, they give you the lyrics with the studio albums, or they don't, which is always annoying. But then with a live album, you never get the lyrics there. Pure Phase, one of my favorite from Spiritualized. J Spaceman. This thing is just kind of it's a journey, really. It doesn't have too many, like, you know, highlights of Spiritualized careers, but as a, you know, as a main event, as, like, you know, a whole journey, it's definitely worthwhile. So, yeah, Lay Back in the Sun is on here. Medication, the slide song, but really it just flows very well, all as one entity. That was the word I was looking for. And I don't think I showed this in any other vinyl update video. I should have showed this in the summer, but I'm slowly gonna get all the reissues here, because what a great band, and their first 4 albums are amazing, and I hope they continue on and do the rest, because you know, I have some Spaceman 3 stuff. I have the new Spiritualized and Nothing Hurt, which I really love that one. But I would love to get, you know, songs in A and E on record. And I never got the 2012 one on record when it came out. I got the CD for some reason. I opted for the CD. And that one's got so many good ones on it, like Hey Jane. And next up is another one I was listening to earlier. And, you know, this isn't going to be known or loved by too many people visiting the channel, but this is one of my favorite rock groups of all time. And this is kind of a rare, it's a 3-track EP, and it's pretty rare, and I think this is probably the most I've ever paid for a, you know, just an EP. Someone wrote Canada 2011 Alternative Industrial, which is kind of what the band used to be. There are some industrial elements on Thorn, though, and gotta show off the record. Look at that. And it sounds good, too, but yeah, Thing of Beauty there, that's really cool. And this is the last thing the group did. They're working on new material, but it's the last. They've done some singles, but it's the last thing they've done, and it's 10 years old now. Anyway, I love this, and I've always wanted to have a physical copy of it. It comes with a CD, but there's a sticker on the, you know, the part that plays, the part that meets the laser, and, yeah, the CD doesn't play, so the guy warned me, and he said if you have some kind of thing to take adhesive off or whatever, you could use that, but I don't know. Anyway, it's nice to have the record. And then, changing gears yet again, Godspeed You Black Emperor. I ordered this a long, long time ago, and I was supposed to get it, like, I guess in the spring when it came out, but there was a huge delay on it. And I get that there's a delay on vinyl, but I seem to get things last out of everyone, because, you know, that Iron Maiden I ordered, people were getting that the last day of August, and I haven't got it yet. I pre-ordered it, like, when it was announced. So, yeah, great post-rock, Godspeed You Black Emperor, pretty much the kings of the genre now. And I guess they always were. Their first 3 records are 3 of the best things you could listen to in your life, but the first one in particular is so depressing. Oof. Coldplay, kind of in anticipation of the new Coldplay. Man, I keep switching gears. Godspeed You Black Emperor to Coldplay. This one, I'm sure it sold well, but I always found this one was kind of underrated. It had Orphans on it, that was big. Yeah, it's, there's a lot of kind of dark, brooding Coldplay moments on here, like Trouble in Town. I find it interesting. I think for a band of their stature, I really appreciate how, you know, every record is kind of different from the last, except X and Y. That sounded a lot like the 2 that came before it. But even that incorporated, you know, kind of electronic elements that weren't as prevalent on Rush of Blood to the Head. And, you know, they even sampled like a Kraftwerk, so, for Talk. I think the track was called Computer Love, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, but it was for the single Talk. Anyway, Coldplay, they got slagged off, and, you know, they were a punchline on 40-Year-Old Virgin, and, but I think they're pretty cool, pretty solid band, to be honest with you. Another band that gets slagged off sometimes critically, but they have their fans, and there's a reason why. Blink-182, so glad to hear that Brother Hoppus, that's Mark Hoppus, is cancer-free, and kind of in tribute to him, I thought, I'll pick up Buddha, because I really like their old material, you know? And this one's beautiful. Look at that. Wow, 3 colors. I definitely don't have any records that look like this one. That's really cool. So this is, of course, before Travis Barker was in the group, and, you know, back when it was Mark, Tom, and Scott. So, yeah, Carousel, that's one of my top 10 Blink songs. I love Carousel. Both versions. There's 2 different versions on 2 different releases, but get in there. This one I think has the shorter intro, but it's more polished. I'm pretty sure. It's been a long time since I listened to Carousel. Anyway, Buddha. Would love to have, what's it, Cheshire Cat on vinyl as well. And then this one's a hefty one. Outkast. ATLiens. One of my favorite Outkast records. Of course, has 2 dope boys in a Cadillac, and Wheels of Steel, and the title track, which for some reason didn't make their greatest hits, even though it's like maybe the seminal Outkast tune. It's definitely top 3, I would say. Elevators, that's great. The production on that, so ahead of its time. You know, this was back in '96, and it feels futuristic. That's the thing about the Outkast, you know, the golden years of Outkast. Especially album 2 and 3, but really the first 4 records in particular, you can't go wrong. Those are the ones I'm a fan of anyway. Yeah, and then of course, I haven't listened to it, but you have all the instrumental versions, and I wish more, it's nice when hip-hop releases do that. I wish more would do that, and I wish rock releases would do it, to be honest. Nice thing about streaming is sometimes you get, you know, on release day or maybe months later, you get like instrumental versions of you know, of records that you want. I'm just looking at Art's tats there. I swear he has a Powerpuff Girl tattoo. Anyway, Everclear, the very best of. And people are going, you're buying an Everclear record that has like re-recorded versions of their songs. I find people really hate this one, but it's not as bad as people will have you believe. You know, I do like the original band better, but anyway, it's cool to have. And yeah, I was streaming this earlier in the year, and I thought these aren't really that bad. And I wanted to have some Everclear on vinyl there. So yeah, definitely getting some interesting colors of vinyl these days. But yeah, I'm a big Everclear fan. I'm kind of a sucker for their stuff. There's a lot of covers on this one, and I do like Everclear doing their stuff better. I also gotta say, even though it's cool to have this on vinyl, it's such a lazy album cover. Like, it's like a photo shoot, but like his hands in motion, so it's blurry. This guy doesn't know what to do with his hands. Like, I don't know. That would even be a better cover, even though it's still not good. But yeah, the fact that his hand is in motion and that's the cover, that's kind of lame. But anyway, very, very cool to have. I got almost negative there, but no, it is cool to have. And then Grizzly Bear. I almost have all the Grizzly Bear LPs now. I discovered Grizzly Bear back, like, about the time this was out. Blogs I really liked were posting about Knife. And I remember Colorado, which is still one of my favorite Grizzly Bear songs. Maybe my favorite. Or something off the follow-up, Vekatimist. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a place, so I should know, but Vekatimist or Vekatimist. Yeah, great to have a reissue on Warp Records. This is way more understated than all the ones that would follow, but it's a nice bridge from Horn of Plenty to the next record in 2009, which is about the time we saw them live. I think it was 2010. Great, great band. And yeah, even their new stuff is really cool. I think there's only one that I don't have on LP, so some of these collections are, you know, being close to being filled in. This is one that I wanted to talk about when it was released, but the vinyl took maybe, it was like a month late or something. Modest Mouse. And lots of differing opinions on their career post, you know, Moon in Antarctica, post Good News for People That Love Bad News. I loved this record. I listened to this so much when it came out. The singles, We Are Between, The Sun Hasn't Left, those are really great. Leave a Light On. But yeah, the album cuts, like Japanese Trees, Back to the Middle, those are great. Transmitting, Receiving is cool, even though it's kind of like it's not like a songy song, it's kind of like almost like an interlude or a stream of consciousness, but it goes on quite a while. I really like that one. We're Lucky kind of sounds like, almost like an Ugly Casanova tune. So does Wooden Soldiers. Really, these are all good songs. And Never Fuck a Spider on the Fly is that's a fun one, actually. So yeah, I thought this was great. I love the production, but then again, I was someone that really liked Strangers to Ourselves, and a lot of people said, oh, this band has lost the plot, blah blah blah. I think every LP they've done has been, whoops, great. Oh, actually, I don't know if I should show this or not, but it's a really cool art direction they have going here. Like, it's like a pop-up book, and the poster's gonna fall at me. I don't think I'll put that one up, but it's kind of like a pop-up book. It's very kind of like, I don't know, like Led Zeppelin went all out on their album art. It's kind of like that. So it's kind of like this one's white and the other one's blue. So, very cool label, too. If I keep getting all these out, though, I'll have a lot to put away later. So, yeah. I was going to do a review of it when it came out, but now it's kind of like old hat a little bit. And then I was going to do an unboxing of this one, but I feel like Mr. Giggins, that's Gigggens, he's got the Beach Boys, you know, down pat. And I discovered him, I think, when he did his Holland review years and years ago, which was his first or second video. And I've been following ever since. And, you know, I love when he talks about Of Montreal. I can learn a lot about them. And, because I've listened to a lot of their releases, but he knows a lot about that band. I love when he talks about that, or, what else does he talk about? Animal Collective, the Bee Gees, the Beatles, everything. But he is kind of known as Mr. Beach Boys. And, man, he is a wealth of knowledge, treasure trove of knowledge. And, I was going to do an unboxing on this and all that, but it came so late, and I felt like he's got that corner of YouTube covered. He's a really cool guy, it seems. And I've talked to him a lot in the comments section, but he's really nice. And he's definitely got the Beach Boys cornered, so, you know, much respect to him there. So I felt like an unboxing or review is probably not the thing to do with this one, but it's so cool to have these, and it's Sunflower and Surf's Up, and then all the bonus tunes on there. The CD has even more, like the deluxe CD, but last I looked it was like $130 or $140 Canadian, so yeah, that's that's pretty steep, so would be nice to have someday, but anyway. Love the album cover there too, and I think this has been selling pretty well, so hopefully they'll do the next era, the Carl and the Passions, which is, so yeah, memory filled up there. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching, everyone, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next video. Alright, here's a hint. Peace and love, everyone.